Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Darth Vicious, and this is a Canon novel review in the new Star Wars canon. It is the prequel book to Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars A New Dawn, by John Jackson Miller. And this book starred Hera and Kanan. Hera, of course, the captain of the Ghost, and Kanan, who is now a Jedi Knight tasked with training Ezra. But this was before the rest of the crew came in. Having said that, they were the main protagonists. The main antagonist was Count Vidian, who at one time was a business mogul during the days of the Clone Wars, tied in with the mining guilds. The secondary antagonist was Captain Ray Sloan, who was at the time temporarily assigned to the Imperial Star Destroyer Ultimatum. Count Vidian, of course, had his ship, the Voyager, which was a Thorlide mining ship. And the main plot was the mining of Thorlide on Cinda, the moon of Gorse. The Emperor was calling for more Thorlide to be produced, so Vidian decided to take another one of the protagonists' plans to basically blow up the moon and get the Thorlide that way. That plot was eventually foiled and Vidian killed by the person who came up with the plan. His name was Skelly. Skelly was a Clone Wars era demolitions expert. And the fourth member of the team was a former Transsub Security Bureau manager who was brought on because of her skills with doing various forms of intel gathering, whether it was using cameras or other electronic devices. At the end of the book, Zeluna lost her eyesight when trying to kill Vidian with her blaster, and the gas pack being blown up. Scully sacrificed himself by blowing up himself, Count Vidian, the Forager, using bombs that were planted on a mining hauler that had been the main ship mentioned in the book, the Expedient, which had been Kanan's ship. And at the end, Kanan and Hera went off together. Zeluna got to remain on Gorse in a house that Hera bought for her. And that's basically the book. Overall, I loved it. I felt it was well written. John Jackson Miller is an amazing author, and I wish he would get more canon novels. So, Kathleen Kennedy, Pablo Hidalgo, Bob Iger, I'm putting it to you to make sure that John Jackson Miller gets more canon novels, because I loved it. Reading this book felt like watching a 4-episode arc on Star Wars Rebels, which I'm a huge fan of. So it made reading this book about a breath of fresh air. Now, with that in mind, there were a few key plot points that bothered me. One of them being, of course, Count Vidian and his use of deception to get where he was. Something like that was confusing throughout the story, and it made for a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A sinkhole. Best thing I can come up with. Another thing that bothered me was Canon hiding his past Jedi training from others, except in times of dire need. Everybody who knows, Jedi training is not something you can just turn on and off. At some point it's going to come to the forefront. But that was a minor bitch that I had. Couple things I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed getting to know Hera on a much deeper level and what made her tick. Hera is now my new favorite character in Rebels. And of course, getting to know Canon better. He is my other favorite character and has been one of my favorite characters on Rebels since I started watching the show. And of course, now I have absolutely no respect for Rey Sloane because she allowed herself to be deceived, which makes her look like a weak leader. And I hope to God that her character gets killed off in Empire's End by Chuck Wendig. I will be reading that book. It's coming out in January. But that being said, overall this was a very enjoyable book to read. I think I read it in 4 days, mainly at night. But overall, I'm going to give this book a big fat A. So with that in mind, John Jackson Miller, I hope to read another Canon novel by you. You are an amazing author, and reading this book was like watching a Dave Filoni production. So, having said that, I have more novels on the way. I believe the next one I'm getting is Weapon of the Jedi, which is another Luke storybook, Luke Skywalker novel rather. Then I'll be getting Moving Target, which is C-3PO and Leia, and then I'll be getting Smuggler's Run, which is Han and Chewie. Now, having said that, I have some more content in the pipelines. Excuse me. I have other content in the pipelines. Like I said, I got a couple more What If Star Wars Explained videos coming, with them following the first Death Star that I did a couple weeks ago. That Starkiller base are coming next. And then so the next teaser trailer for Rogue One: A Star Wars Story comes out. I will be reviewing that for this channel. And that in mind, I want to thank you guys who have been watching my videos for the support. You guys have been awesome. Get me to 100 subscribers. I will review live on air Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So with that in mind, I will talk to you guys later. May the Force be with you all. Darth Vicious out.